I'm 63 and nearing retirement. How should I invest my $80,000 inheritance? I saw this article on Morningstar and I wanted to make a video going a little deeper into answering this question. Why should you listen to me? Well, I'm Daniel Masuda Lehrman. I'm a certified financial planner with over 10 years of experience working as an advisor for the Big Three, and now I'm an independent, fee-only fiduciary that specializes in retirement planning specifically for those with inherited wealth. Being close to retirement and having an inheritance is increasingly common. More and more people are reaching retirement age, and there is $80 trillion expected to pass from older to younger generations in the coming decades. So in this video, I'm going to provide a response to this question from a CFP's perspective and what I would change about the author's response. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more retirement content from a certified financial planner. Let's get right to it. Here's the full question that the reader asked. I'm 63 with $2.2 million in a retirement portfolio, mostly in the traditional IRA and 401k. I max out my contribution to a Roth 401k. I have $1,100 per month mortgage at 3.1%, $100,000 in a money market account, and $25,000 in a CD ladder. My father passed away and I inherited $80,000. What are my options for investing this money inside or outside a retirement account? It's hard to look at what's happened to my retirement savings in recent weeks. Frankly, I'm terrified. So I want to start by sharing my initial reaction to this person's question and my observations. The first thing I notice is the emotions. This reader says they're terrified of seeing their balance decline so close to retirement, so what they might need right now is some reassurance at the very least. Maybe they're more risk averse now that they're close to retirement and should have a beefed up emergency fund. They have $100,000 in a money market, which sounds like a decent emergency fund, but it really actually depends on her spending, and it also depends on her preferences. Someone who is terrified might want a 6 to 12 month emergency fund rather than the standard 3 to 6 months. On a similar note, $2.2 million is a sizable retirement account compared to the average American, but whether it's enough for retirement really depends on a variety of factors, most important of which is her retirement spending. And then there's her mortgage, which sounds affordable and low interest, so most people would probably tell her to just hold on to it. But for someone who's close to retirement and risk averse, they may prefer to be debt-free. So how does that factor in? When it comes to her inheritance, it was actually never specified whether it is a cash inheritance or a retirement account. So if it's the latter, it severely limits some of her options. And finally, being 63 and having $2.2 million, mostly in pre-tax accounts, begs the question of how required minimum distributions, or RMDs, may impact her taxes once she's 75. By then, she will likely already be claiming Social Security, so that could open the door to a Roth conversion strategy during low-income years. And can she use the inheritance to pay the conversion taxes? So until we know what her spending is, how much cash she needs to sleep soundly, how she feels about debt, and what kind of inheritance she received, we won't be able to specify what she should specifically do with the $80,000 inheritance. And that's probably my biggest critique of the article response as a whole. There's just not enough information to provide a concise and straightforward answer. Some of the guidance in the article included paying down the mortgage, placing a portion in a high-yield savings account, investing in low-cost diversified ETFs, investing in gold, investing in short-term bonds, and investing in Treasury inflation-protected securities, or TIPS. These are all great ideas in a vacuum, and the information itself is factually accurate, but the reader presumably doesn't want to know what can I do with my inheritance. They want to know what should I do with my inheritance. So having said that, this is how I would approach it. If this is a cash inheritance, start by paying off high-interest debt if you have it, and beefing up your emergency fund in a high-yield savings account with 6 to 12 months of retirement spending. Your emergency fund is your life preserver as you set sail on your retirement journey. It not only helps you sleep better through volatile times, but more importantly, it prevents you from taking withdrawals from your investments while the market is down. Now, if the inheritance is from a retirement account, you are likely subject to the 10-year rule since you inherited this account from a non-spouse. This requires annual distributions and for you to empty the account by the 10th year. If this was a pre-tax account, Those withdrawals are taxable at ordinary income rates, so if you are a high income earner, this might require some careful planning with your advisor or CPA. Now, assuming this is a cash inheritance and your high interest debts are paid off, your emergency fund is beefed up, and you're comfortable holding onto your mortgage, I would take a quick look at your pre-tax retirement balances and consider implementing a Roth conversion strategy and using the inheritance to pay the conversion taxes. There is oftentimes a window of opportunity between when you retire and when Social Security and RMDs kick in, where your income is relatively low. Roth conversions allow you to take advantage of those low income years and potentially pay substantially less taxes over your lifetime. And it allows you to keep all your retirement money in a tax-free account. Finally, if you need extra support with any of this, I would recommend working with a fee-only fiduciary certified financial planner. Fee-only means that your advisor is always a fiduciary and only compensated by advisory fees. A fiduciary is someone that is legally and ethically obligated to put your best interest first. It should be the default, but unfortunately, it's not. A CFP or Certified Financial Planner designation means that your advisor has at least 3 years of experience as an advisor, passed a rigorous exam, and adheres to fiduciary ethical standards. It is the gold standard for financial advisors. So to recap, if you're in a situation like this reader, you're 63, you're getting close to retirement, and maybe you're inherited some money, here's what I want you to take away from this video. First, don't underestimate the emotional side of this moment. Grief and financial decisions can often show up at the same time, and that's a really difficult mix. Money is never just about the math, especially when it's inherited. It comes with meaning, memories, and often a pressure to get it right. But you do not need to rush through it. In fact, when you receive an inheritance, one of the very first steps you should do is to pause. Just park the money in a high-yield savings account and give yourself time to process emotionally and to plan strategically. Second, recognize that what you should do with inherited money isn't about chasing investment returns. It's about building financial resilience and confidence for the retirement that you want. In this case, I would start by revisiting your emergency fund, not because you need to follow some cookie-cutter rule, but because your emotions matter. If market volatility is keeping you up at night, there is nothing wrong with holding a larger cash buffer. Financial planning is partly about the numbers, but it's also part psychology. The best plan is the one you'll actually stick to during uncertain times. And remember, most of this reader's wealth is in pre-tax retirement accounts. So that's really good for accumulation, but those dollars come with a future tax bill attached. And if she's retiring soon, she might have a window of opportunity, a few golden years between retirement and required distributions to control her tax picture. Using inherited cash to fund a Roth conversion strategy can be a big game changer. You're essentially prepaying taxes at a known rate today in exchange for tax-free growth forever. That is powerful, especially if tax rates rise in the future or if RMDs would push you into a higher tax bracket later on. And if the inheritance was an IRA, that opens up a completely different set of considerations. The 10-year rule for inherited IRAs means you'll need to empty the account within a decade, and the timing of those withdrawals should align with your overall tax strategy. Now, some of you might be thinking, what about paying off the mortgage? It's a fair question. It really comes down to your comfort with debt. Mathematically, keeping a 3.1% interest mortgage while investing elsewhere is oftentimes the right answer, but emotionally, retiring debt-free can give people a tremendous sense of freedom and peace of mind. So here's what I would say. If the mortgage is the last thing keeping you up at night and being debt-free would help you feel secure heading into retirement, it's absolutely okay to use some of that inheritance for that purpose. Financial planning isn't just about maximizing every dollar, it's about aligning your money with your life and your values. And that's kind of the big picture here. It's not about what you can do with the inheritance, it's about what will give you the greatest sense of freedom, security, and flexibility as you step into retirement. For some people, that means investing more aggressively, and for others, it's shoring up your cash reserves, paying down debt, and tackling future tax issues head on. There's no one-size-fits-all option, and honestly, be cautious of anyone who gives you advice without first understanding your goals, your values, and your fears. This is where working with a fiduciary fee-only financial planner can really add some value. Not because we have some secret formula, but because we take the time to listen, to understand your full financial picture, and to help you build a plan that actually works for you. I hope this video gave you some clarity, not just about investing and inheritance, but how comprehensive retirement planning actually works. The best financial plans aren't just investment portfolios. They're roadmaps for living a life that you love without the unnecessary financial stress. If you resonated with the content in this video and you're looking for more personalized guidance, especially around retirement income planning, tax strategy, or inherited wealth, I would love the opportunity to support you. Head over to my website to schedule a free consultation. I work with clients virtually all over the country, and I'd be happy to help you feel more confident about your next steps. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe for more retirement content from a certified financial planner who's here to make this stuff clear, actionable, and hopefully a little less overwhelming. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.